Good morning, students. My name is Samuel Chukwuemeka. Today we shall divide compound numbers using the United States Customary System. Please, before you begin this video, it is recommended that you view the videos on significant digits and also the videos on addition, subtraction, and multiplication of compound numbers in the United States Customary System. Let's begin. Question 1. 12 feet 6 inches divided by 3. So to begin this problem, we shall set up our division process. Now, the same way that we divide numbers, arithmetic division, that is the same way we shall do this division of compound numbers. So we set up our division process. Of course, 3 is the dividend, 12 feet 6 inches is the divisor. So there is something that is important here. When we did addition, subtraction, and multiplication of compound numbers, we worked from the right. Okay, we started from the right. Remember that the right is the lesser unit, like inches is lesser than feet. If we were to add or subtract or multiply, we started from the right. So we would start with 6 inches. But in the division process, it is different. In the division process, we start from the left. So that is the first thing to note, that in the division process, you have to start from the left, or the greater unit. The greater unit is the feet. So in this case, we shall start from 12 feet instead of starting from 6 inches. Okay, that is the first thing we note. And of course, the second thing is that the division process here is similar to the arithmetic division of numbers. As we do more problems, there are other things that we shall be aware of. Okay? So we say that 3 divide 12 feet, or 12 feet divided by 3. Of course, this will give us 4 feet. Okay? Then you do 4 feet times 3 is what? 12 feet. And then you subtract. When you subtract, it gives you 0 feet. And you bring down 6 inches. Then you now do 3 divide 6 inches. Will give you what? 2 inches. 2 inches times 3 is what? 6 inches. And you subtract, giving you 0 inches. So, if you recall the arithmetic division process, okay, if you recall the arithmetic division process, you first of all divide, right? We say 3 divide 12 feet. It gives us 4 feet. Then the next thing is you multiply. Okay, you multiply 4 feet times 3. It gives you 12 feet. Then you subtract S. You now do 12 feet minus 12 feet. It gives you 0 feet. And then if you have any remaining numbers, you bring down, BD, bring down. And the whole process starts all over again. And I will draw an arrow here, that the whole process starts all over again. So this is the technique we use in the arithmetic division, and this is also the technique we use here. So we now have our answer as 4 feet and 2 inches, but we don't stop here. We ask ourselves, what is the relationship between inches and feet? We see that 12 inches make 1 feet. But we have 2 inches here, and 2 inches is less than 12 inches. So because 2 inches is less than 12 inches, we are good. Okay, we are good, and this becomes our answer. I will circle it with a blue ink. Now, assuming we didn't have 2 inches, we had more than 12 inches, then we will do something else. Okay, we will show that example as we move on. So 2 inches is less than 12 inches, so we're not good, and our answer becomes 4 feet 2 inches. I hope you understand. Question 2. 14 yards 2 feet 6 inches divided by 2. So we set up our division process as usual. 14 yards 2 feet 6 inches. So the first step is to divide. 2 divide 14, or you say 14 divided by 2. Now look at the syntax. We want to always use the correct syntax. 2 divide 14, or you say 14 divided by 2. That gives us what? 7 yards. 7 times 2 is 14 yards. And here we are left with 0 yards. Then we bring down 2 feet. 2 divided 2 feet is 1 feet. 1 foot, I mean. I'm sorry, 1 foot. So 1 foot times 2 is 2 feet. And then we subtract, we are left with 0 feet. Or 0 foot. Then we bring down what? 6 inches. So 2 divided 6 inches is 3 inches. Okay? Multiply by 2, 6 inches. And we are left with 0 inches. If we look at the relationship between inches and feet, 12 inches makes 1 foot. 3 is less than 12. So we leave it. Then feet and yard, 3 feet makes 1 yard. But this is 1 foot, which is less than 3 feet. So we are good. Our answer becomes 7 yards, 1 foot, 3 inches. Question 3. 11 yards, 2 feet, divided by 3. We set up our division process. Dividend is 3. Divisor, dividend is 11 yards, 2 feet. Divisor is 3. Okay, now in this case we'd say 3 divide 11 yards, right? In the previous two examples, we worked with factors, multiples. Okay, like if it's 12 yards, 12 is a multiple of 3, but 11 is not. 11 will give us a remainder. So in this example, we will show how we can do it if it has a remainder. Now 3 into 11, 3 divide 11, of course 3 yards, right? 3 times 3 is 9 yards. Okay, and then you're left with 11 yards minus 9 yards is 2 yards. And of course you bring down your 2 feet. Now when you have a situation like this, 2 yards, what you want to do in this case is you express the bigger unit and convert it to the smaller unit. That's what you want to do. Now, why do we want to do that? Listen now, why we want to do that. We would not want any fraction or remainder in the bigger unit. I repeat, we shall not want any fraction or remainder in the bigger unit, but we can take it in the smaller unit. The bigger unit is the yard, and the smaller unit is the feet. 1 yard is 3 feet, so yard is bigger than feet. We don't want any bigger unit in the yard at all. But we don't want any fraction or remainder in the yard at all. But we can take fractions or remainder in the smaller unit, feet. That is the way it's done. So these 2 yards, we will convert it to feet, right? I'm going to draw here a rough work. What is the relationship between yards and feet? 1 yard is equal to 3 feet. So 2 yards will be how many? 2 yards will be 6 feet, right? Or you do your, of course, if you watch the video on conversion. Yeah, that's true. Another video that is required is conversion between units. That's another video required. I forgot to put it in the prerequisites. I'm sorry. It is required here. So 2 yards is 6 feet, right? So the 6 feet plus 2 feet. 6 feet plus 2 feet. We convert it. And that gives us what? 8 feet. So these 2 guys here, 2 yards and 2 feet, will be 8 feet. Right? Then you now do 3 into 8 feet. 3 divide 8 feet will give us 2, right? 2 times 3 is 6. 6 feet. And then 8 feet minus 6 feet is what? 2 feet. So 2 feet is the remainder, right? So this is now 2 out of 3 feet. So we can take fractions or remainder with the smaller unit, which is the feet. But we cannot take it in the bigger unit, which is the yard. That is the rule. Okay? So, of course, this means 2 is the quotient, 2 whole number, which the 2 is the quotient. Then the remainder here is 2 over 3. 3 being the divisor. Okay? So, if you consider the 2 out of 3. So, and if you check the relationship between feet and yard, 3 feet is 1 yard, and 2 2/3. 2 2/3 is less than 3. So, our answer becomes 3 yards, 2 2/3 feet. Question 4. 4 miles, 310 rods, 4 yards, divided by 3. We set up our division process. 4 miles, 310 rods, 4 yards. Okay, 3 into 4 is what? 1. 1 mile. And this gives us 3 miles. Remaining what? 1 mile, 310 rods. Now, we convert these miles and rods. We convert the miles into rods. Okay? And when we convert the miles into rods, what does it give us? Of course, 1 mile is 320 rods. So 320 plus 310 is 630. Right? 630 rods. Now 3 into 630 is 210 rods. And if you do that, it gives you 630 rods. So remaining 0 rod, then you bring down 4 yards. 3 into 4 is 1. 1 times 3 is 3. 3 yard. And you're left with what? 1 yard. So this becomes a 1 whole number, 1 out of 3. 1 whole number, 1 over 3. 1/3 yard. So what is our answer? Our answer is 1 mile, 210 rods, 1 whole number, 1 over 3 yards. Of course, or you can say 1 whole number, 1/3 yard. 1 mile, 210 rods, 1 1/3 yards. I hope you understand. Question 5. 6 yards, 2 feet, 3 1/4 inches divided by 0.5. Okay, we set it up. 0.5 divide 6 yards, 2 feet, 3 1/4 inches. Okay. Excuse me. I will draw a rough work here. I will need a rough work here. All right. We do 6 divided by 0.5. You can do this with your calculator, but I don't have my calculator here, so I will just do it like this. In this case, when we divide by this, we want to make the 0.5 to be an integer, a positive integer, of course, a whole number, which is 5, right? So and for us to do 0.5 to become 5, we have to multiply it by 10 in order for 0.5 to become 5. So whatever we do to the denominator, we have to do to the numerator. So if we have to multiply the denominator by 10, we also have to multiply the numerator by 10. So this is 60 out of 5, which is 12. Okay, so this is 12 yards, and this times this is 6 yards. So we have 0 yard, and you bring down 2 feet. Now, of course, you do 2 divided by 0.5. And of course, this will give you 20 out of 5, 20 divided by 5, and that gives you 4. Right? So this is 4 feet. 4 feet times 0.5 is 2 feet. And this will be 0 feet, 0 foot. And you bring down 3 1/4 inches. 3 1/4 inches. You do a 3 1/4 divided by 0.5. This will be, I can, 1 1/4 is 0.25. So there are several ways you can do this. But if I want the easier way, I'll convert that 1/4 to decimal, 3.25 over 0.5. And in this case, we don't want only 0.5 to be 5. We also want the 3.25 to be 325. And for 3.25 to be 325, we have to multiply it by 100. Okay, we have to multiply by 100. And whatever we do to the numerator, we have to do to the denominator. If we have to multiply 3.25 by 100, then we also have to multiply 0.5 by 100. And when you do that, you get a 325 over 50. If you divide by 25, you have to simplify the fraction. If you divide by 25, you get a 13. 25 into 32, 1, 25, and 75 is 3, all over 2, right? 13 over 2, which is a 6.5 inch. Now, 6.5 in this case. So this is 6.5 inch. Now, 6.5 times 0.5 is 3 1/4 inches. So this is 0 inch. Now, some people might ask me, why don't I leave it as 13 over 2 as the improper fraction? No. You see, we were given a mixed number here, 3 whole number, 1 over 4. Right? So we have to leave it. If we get any fraction, we have to, if it's an improper fraction, we have to convert it to a mixed number because they gave us a mixed number. Usually you do this in the same format that you were given, yeah, unless otherwise stated. Okay, unless otherwise stated. Okay, if you look at this answer, 12 yards, 4 feet, 6.5 inch. Okay, 12 yards, 4 feet, 6.5 inch. You have to do a final check. What is the final check? You of course you look at the inch and feet. 12 inches make 1 foot, but this is 6.5 inch. So we are good in this one. 6.5 is less than 12. So we are good. But if you check 4 feet and 12 yards, there is a problem here. There's a problem here. 3 feet makes 1 yard, right? And here you have 4 feet. So we don't, if we have 4 feet and we have yards in the same answer, then we have to look at that relationship. Yeah, if you have any big, if you can get 1 yard from 4 feet, that is what you will do. So your answer will not be 12 feet, 12 yards, 4 feet, 6.5 inches. It's not going to be that. You have to get 1 yard from this 4 feet and add it to this 12 yards. Okay, so our final answer, and I'm gonna write it here. Our final answer will be what? Of course, we have that 3 feet is 1 yard, so we can get 3 feet is 1 yard, and we have 4 feet, so we can get 1 yard from the 4 feet. And once we get the 1 yard, it will be remaining 1 feet here, right? That 1 yard we added to 12 yards, just like we did in addition. And this will now be 13 yards. Our final answer will be 13 yards, 1 feet, 6.5 inches. And this becomes our final answer. Now you have to be careful here. Whenever you do division, okay, or whenever you do whether addition, subtraction, multiplication, or division, if you have yard and feet, I mean, if you have 2 or more units, you have to make sure that in your final answer that you get, you convert. If you have an excess of the smaller units, and you know that you can get a bigger unit from that excess of the smaller unit, you have to get that bigger unit and add it to the one you have. Okay, we have to make sure that we simplify as least as possible. Okay, I hope you understand this. Next question. Question 6. 3 miles, 150 rods divided by 1.5. So we set up our division process. 1.5 divide 3 miles, 150 rods. Okay, I will need a space, my rough work here. I will do a 3 divided by 1.5. 3 divided by 1.5. Now, you don't have, you are giving 1.5, use 1.5. Don't go and start converting it to 1.5. No, use what you're giving and express it in the same format as you're giving. So this is a 3, unless your instructor tells you another thing, okay? So this is a 3 divided by 1.5. If you convert it, this is 3 over 2. So this is 3 times 2 over 3 fractions. And of course, you can cross out 3. So that gives you 2. So this is 2 miles. And this is 3 miles. Now, let me say this. Please, if you don't understand fractions, if you do not understand fractions, I did some videos on fractions. And I'm going to still do more videos because I have noticed that a lot of people, some students have issues with fractions. I will do more videos on fractions, and I'm going to explain it very, very well. Yeah, but I would like you to go ahead and look at the ones I have done already. Okay, and but expect more videos on fractions where I will have to kind of break it down from the foundation, from the scratch. Okay, but in the videos I did, I still simplified it, but I think I will have to do some more, so that, because once you get fractions, it will save you a whole lot of trouble. Okay, now 3 miles minus 3 miles, of course, this is a 0 miles, and you bring down 150 rods. You now do a 150 times 150 divided by 1.5 means 150 times 2/3 as well. So 3 will divide 3, 1. 3 will divide 150, 50. This is a multiplication of fraction. Okay, so you have 100. You have a 100. So this is a 100 rod, and this is a 150 rods, 0 rods. Okay, then you do a final check. What is the relationship between rods and miles? 1 mile is 320 rods, so 100 rods is smaller than 320. So our answer becomes 2 miles, 100 rods. Question 7. 21 yards, 1 feet, divided by 1.5. Okay, I will have to do some work, rough work, so I bring out my space. Now I'll go ahead and set this up. 1.5 divide 21 yards, 1 feet. So 21 divided by 1.5, right? Remember, this is the dividend. 21 yards, 1 feet is the dividend. 1.5 is the divisor. Okay, so 21 divided by 1.5, right? So this is 21 divided by 3/2, which is 21 times 2/3, right? 3 can divide 21, 7, which is 14. So this is 14 yards, 14 yards, right? Times 1.5. That gives us what? 21 yards. Okay, when we subtract, that is 0 yards, and we bring down 1 feet. So we now do 1 times 2, 1 divided by 1.5 is the same thing as saying 1 times 2/3, and that is 2/3. So this is 2/3 feet, times 1.5 is 1 foot, 0 foot. And when we check the relationship between feet and yard, we see that 2/3 is less than 2/3. 2/3 is less than 3. So we are good. So our answer becomes 14 yards, 2/3 feet. Question 8, last but not the least. 18 feet, 3.9 inches, divided by 4. I would need some rough work here. I guess I will, let me draw this. So 4 divide 18 feet, 3.9 inches. Okay, 4 divide 18 gives you what? 4 feet. Right? This is 16 feet. 4 times 4 is 16. And this will be 2 feet. Then 3.9 inches, right? And when you come to this aspect, you convert the feet to inches, because remember, our bigger unit will not have a remainder of fraction, no, but our smaller unit can. So 2 feet is how many inches? 1 feet is 12 inches, so 2 feet will be 24 inches, right? 12 inches make 1 foot, so 2 feet will be 24 inches. Then you do 24 plus 3.9, right? Because this is now 24 inches plus 3.9 inches, right? So which gives us 27.9 inches. So these two guys here will give this guy 27.9 inches. Okay, then you do 4 into 27.9. Now 4 into 27 is what? 6. 6 times 4 is 24. We just do it like we do our usual division. So this 27 minus 24 is 3.9. We have 3.9 inches, right? Now 4 into 3.9, 4 into 3 cannot go, right? You put a decimal. And this becomes 39. Once you put the decimal, this becomes 39 inches. Now 4 into 39 will give what? 9. 9 times 4 is what? 36. So 36 inches, right? And you have a 3. And now, of course, because you've put the decimal before, you can add 0. 30 inches. Now 4 into 30 is what? 7. 7 times 4 is what? 28 inches. And you have 2. You can add 0 again, inches. Then 4 into 20 is what? 5. 5 times 4 is what? 20. 20 inches. And then you have 0 inches. You know what? Let me just bring this over here so you can see this more. So I'm going to bring this from here. We had 39 inches. Then we had 36 inches. And after that, we had 30 inches. Then we had 28 inches. I wish I had an iPad that is a bigger one, bigger screen. But this is still okay. Now this is a 2020. Yeah. And we have 0 inches. Okay, so this is what it gives us. Okay? And we put our inches here. Then we check what is the relationship between inches and feet. 12 inches make 1 foot. So this is 6.975 inches. And that is we are good, because 6.975 is less than 12 inches. Okay? Now, I hope you understood this. If you don't get this question because of this, then try it, and then if you don't get it, then when we meet in class, I can do it on the board. There's no problem about it. On a bigger board. Okay? But I had to do this video real fast so that you can at least get something to be doing. Okay? This becomes our dividend. 18 feet, 3.9 inches is our dividend. 4 is our divisor. 4 feet, 6.975 inches is our quotient. And 0 inches is our remainder. Okay? I hope you understood this lesson. If you have any questions, feel free to ask them in class when we meet in class. And if you are not my student, you can ask your question on my website, or you can ask it in the comment. Okay, in the comment section, or you can go to my website and then ask your question. This becomes our answer. 4 feet, 6.975 inches. Okay. And of course, as usual, my website is www.samdomforpeace.com. Thank you so much, students, for listening, and you have a great day.